So here we have IXL, what is this? I4 multiplying imaginary numbers. It's going to start off pretty simple, so you really won't need any instruction. A negative times a negative is positive, so just 2i. Think of it like working with x. All right, even though it's the imaginary number, big deal. I don't think they want you to say 0 plus bi, so 2i ought to do it. Here's the same thing, negative 4 times negative 3 is 12. Don't forget the I. Done. Still easy. Negative 4i. And it's going to be like that for a little while until you have to start distributing an I. So let's just get to that. Shouldn't take too long. You'll breeze right through it for a while. Here's where we're getting to something. 9i times I. 9i times I. So it got a little interesting. 9i times I. Well, that would be 9i to the second power. If you've done the previous lessons, you should know that I to the second power is negative 1. So 9i squared is just 9 times a negative 1, which is just negative 9. So it's not a hard problem. Fantastic. Same concept here, 8i times 10i. Where's that symbol at? Oh, there it is. Well, that would be 80i to the second. So if I see I to the second, I just replace it with a negative 1, and I go about my business. Negative 80. It really is that hard. It's not a hard concept. Although some kids just don't seem to want to go with memorization. I mean, I squared is negative 1. So here I can do these kind of verbally now. A negative times a negative is positive, but I would have an I squared, and I squared is negative 1, because I have an I times an I. So it's going to end up negative 2. Good work. Here we have 9i times negative 1, negative 9i, easy peasy. This is going to be positive 70 I to the second. Remember, I to the second is negative 1. That's going to make it negative 70. This guy is going to be 72i squared, so 72 times a negative 1, so negative 72. We should be oh, finally, something that's actually worth doing here. I guarantee you, I don't know why I did that. I guarantee you Word will not be able to paste that. Where's my little sniping tool? There she is. So this little guy, 2 plus 4i to the second power. This is where some of y'all are going to start having troubles. It's also what I'm going to put on your little quiz on Friday. Something like that. That's 2 plus 4i times 2 plus 4i. You write it twice. And then you FOIL. 2 times 2, I'm going to have the ability to draw the arrows here, but 2 times 2 is 4, plus 2 times 4i is 8i. Moving on now to the 4i, 4i times 2, add another 8i. And then we have 4i times 4i, which is going to be 16i to the second power. So moving on in my life, there's 8i and 8i, which makes 16i, and then I have this 16, which I know is a negative 1. So I combine like terms here. 4 minus 16 is negative 12, and then plus 16i. That's how you do it. It's not really that difficult. But negative 12 plus 16i, and that's the correct order too. If you'll go back and pay attention, they want a plus bi. So make sure you put the real number first and the imaginary number second. Negative 12 plus 16i. Correct. This one's laid out for you too. It's going to be the FOIL method. I'll kind of write it out here and play with it. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Let's see here. Then I would do negative 2 times a negative 6i. That's going to be plus 12i. Then I'm going to do 6i times a negative 2 minus 12i. And then I'm going to do 6i times the negative 6i, which is negative 36, but I squared is negative 1. All right. So let's go back through here and see what happens. Those i's knock each other out. One of them was positive, one of them was negative. And then I have this negative 36 times negative 1. Well, that's plus 36. So that's just 40. Negative 10i squared. You square both pieces. Negative 10 squared is 100. I squared is negative 1. So that's negative 100. 10 plus 5i squared, that's something that you write twice. FOIL. Hopefully you get to the point in your life where you can do this in your head, but if not, write it twice. I always suggest kids do that because kids like to default to the wrong thing. So I always suggest that they write it twice. They don't seem to believe me as they continuously miss the same thing over and over and over. But what do I know? I'm a middle-aged fat dude that teaches mathematics. 10 times 10 is 100. 5i times 10, 50i. On the inside, we have a 5i times 10, 50i. And then we have 5i times 5i, which is 25i squared. So that's what I'm looking at. And I squared is negative 1. That's why I wrote it like that. Combine my like terms. 100 minus 25 is 75, and then there's 100 i's. And there's the complex number, sorry, not the imaginary number, the complex number. 75 plus 100i. Alright, so we've gotten to the 80s and we're doing a lot of foiling now. It's level 2. I think I've established my cutoff here. It's going to be an 85-95 deal. That way a lot of you guys get the foiling in, and the honors kids, of course, have to do more. So 85 and 95 is going to be our goal on this one.